television sets. Netflix announced in February plans to invest $1 billion to produce films and series in Mexico over the next 4 years. According to a report from entertainment industry consultancy Allsberg SPI, 36 European countries and 15 Asian countries offered film production incentives in 2024, up from 17 European countries and 7 Asian countries offering tax credits and rebates in 2017. So his argument,
I guess my only question to my real question to everything that he's saying right now is like, wow, okay, you're tariffing Hollywood for making movies outside the United States. But are we ever taking into consideration that maybe depending on the actual movie, that like, for example, if this was Narcos, you're going to tariff Netflix, or you're going to make it difficult for Netflix to shoot Narcos? Like, are you going to pretend you're in Colombia by filming in West Virginia somewhere? I mean, like, it wouldn't be authentic, I guess. Like, the only issue I see is like, okay, well, if, like, just say if Stephen King or Ryan Coogler is making a movie, a Black Panther movie, and he wants to do it like in the motherland, in Africa, he wants to shoot scenes there or have the movie there, it feels more authentic. Is that a bad thing now that's what happens? Is he going to tariff that? Is that what we're looking at? Like, I'm not 100% sold on what Trump is attempting to do or attempting to say. It seems salty to me.
Argument is going to be they're taking their business elsewhere. We've got to compel them to do business right here in the United States. One of the ways to do that is to put these tariffs on content produced outside of the U.S. And as a result, you're going to have people that are going to engage rather than reciprocation. They may do the same thing to the movie industry. He's not blind to that fact. He doesn't seem to care. And if you say, hey, okay, then I'm going to do business here in America, that doesn't mean you're going to get the tax breaks that are available to you at other places, which means that if you're Hollywood, you're going to be producing less content. Studios are going to be green-lighting less projects. As a result, less people are going to be working. As a result, their bottom lines are going to be compromised. And Hollywood, as a result, collectively is going to be compromised because of it. You don't think Trump knows that? Let me veer totally left. The other day, a news report came out. And contrary to the impression that it gave, it wasn't Trump going back on his words to me when I did News Nation last Wednesday night, and I asked him about HBCUs. And he said, you don't need to be concerned at all, Stephen. I love the blacks. I love the black people. Historically
I also
black.
I want to point this out. He did say that. Chris Cuomo also says that. I don't know if I heard Bill O'Reilly say it. When did it become like normalized to say the blacks with the hard S? I never. It was always cringy. In 2025, it's still the cringiest thing I've heard. When I was younger, when I was in high school, college, it was cringy to hear somebody say the blacks, because that's literally how, like, you know, our ancestors back when they were, you know, doing sit-ins, the civil rights era, white people would refer to them as the blacks on purpose to be insulting. You couldn't say the N-word. Okay, well, I'm just going to call you the blacks or a black. Like, why is it so difficult to say black people? Why is it so difficult to say African Americans? Why is it so difficult to be specific? Like, it's stupid to hear. It's just the fucking microaggressions that I hear, and it's allowed. It's allowed. I mean, like, I guess this is normalized.
Colleges and universities, I love them. They love me. They have nothing to worry about them. I saved them, Stephen. I saved them. Remember that? That's what he said. And then a story came out about Howard University and how they were looking forward to about $64 to $65 million and in terms of discretionary funding. and limiting that or minimizing that, the Trump administration was proposing them not getting that 64 to 65 million. And everybody was in an uproar. CC promised one thing and he did another. When in fact, the real story behind it was that it was supposed to be a one-time payment for the hospital. And since the hospital hasn't been completed, that's not something the Trump administration feels the need to provide. Or it has been completed. Since it has been completed, what do you need the money for? That's what he's asking. That's not the same as minimizing funding that was promised to them. So we have to be accurate about that. But my point in saying all of that is this. He still could have given it to them if he wanted to. But according to my sources,
what was
he doesn't
reason?
like the board at Howard University. He doesn't appreciate the way they have treated him,
Again,
according to sources close to Trump. Promised to
to
them. So we have to be accurate about that. But my point is,
go back a little bit.
that's not something the Trump administration feels the need to provide. Or it has been completed. Since it has been completed, what do you need the money for? That's what he's asking. That's not the same as minimizing funding that was promised to them. So we have to be accurate about that. But minimizing that, the Trump administration was proposing them not getting that 64 to 65 million. And everybody was in an uproar. CC promised one thing and he did another. When in fact, the real story behind it was that it was supposed to be a one-time payment for their hospital. And since the hospital hasn't been completed, that's not something the Trump administration feels the need to provide. Or it has been completed.
Wait, what?
Since it has been completed, what do you need the money for? That's what he's asking. That's not the same as minimizing funding that was promised to them. So we have to be accurate about that. But my point in saying all of that is this. He still could have given it to them if he wanted to. But according to my sources, he doesn't like the board at Howard University. He doesn't appreciate the way they have treated him, according to sources close to Trump.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is bullshit. If we remember after the election, Kamala Harris conceded the election. I believe the speech was at Howard University. So you're not going to tell me that that doesn't play a humongous role in why Donald Trump is specifically salty at Howard University for that. And it's being a whole bitch baby by withholding those fucking funds. And if you don't like the board, is a sorry ass excuse for a president to just withhold funds. It doesn't make any sense. Why? I don't know. This is what happens. Like, we knew that it wasn't just going to stop at Ivy League schools. It was just going to stop at Columbia University or the attempt to, destroy Harvard or what have you. We knew it was going to come to these lower income schools. We knew HBCUs were next on the hit list. We knew this shit. We knew it. It's just bullshit.
And because of that, he doesn't particularly like them. And if he doesn't like them, he's not going to do them any favors. That's how this works. At some point in time, you can lament it all day. I've got people that work for me that lament that kind of stuff. They think the behavior is juvenile, it's excessive, it's uncalled for, it's beneath the presidency of the United States, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't care. And that's exactly why you have to make a decision. Either if you're an elected politician, listen to me, Michael. Either you're an elected politician, listen to me, Sherry.
Who the fuck is Sherry?
You're either whether you're an elected politician
Who the fuck are these people?
or you're somebody that's going to have to do business with him, you're going to have to recognize you're going to have to appease him to some degree. You're going to have to do that.
Wait.
I've been critical of him for years. But he was nice on News Nation. You know why?
Wait.
I said, good evening, Mr. President.
Okay, this is going to be a sad time right here. If I'm reading or listening to this correctly, what I'm getting is that, okay, hey, we have to make a decision. And if we want Donald Trump's cooperation, if you're a politician that wants Trump's cooperation, if you're a school that wants funding, you have to appease him. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm assuming that means kiss his ass, whisper sweet nothings in his ear, offer him favors of any kind. I mean, the door's open. What does that mean? Just because this is another thing. This is exactly what happened with Bill Maher. Bill Maher went to have dinner. I personally, it's not that I gave a fuck, and I really don't think people actually cared. The people who legitimately looked at the situation actually gave a fuck that Bill Maher went to go see the President of the United States. It was the gaslighting, explaining the trip. Like, honestly, he should have just kept the whole shit to himself. We weren't obligated. He wasn't obligated to tell us how it went. But when you try to convince us or try to tell us and gaslight us and say, yo, this isn't the man that I met at the White House during the dinner, yo, fuck you. It's basically what I felt. It's like, okay, it's like, why are you trying to convince me right now that because you had a dinner and because you spent 3 or 4 hours, however long you was there at the fucking White House, that this person still isn't liable for sexual assault? It's not the same person. This is not the same person whose first major fucking announcement or speech as a second term as a president blamed the plane crash on DEI without anything. Basically stating that if this would have never happened, if the people in control was a cis, heterosexual, able-bodied white man. He blamed DEI for everything. White people are oppressed when it comes to colleges. Like, oh my God, reparations for white people. We want to kiss his ass. Like, this game that we're playing. Listen, I don't want to vote. I'm not going to vote for anybody who's going to kiss his ass. I'm actually personally tired of it. I'm tired of the Stephen A. Smiths, respectfully. I'm tired of the Chris Cuomo's, respectfully, trying to, tell us how the party should be. We should be acting differently. We should be holding hands. We should be trying to reach across the aisle. I don't think the onus is on the Democrats to do that. We don't have the power anymore. I feel like what you want is something that only the right has to offer. They're the unreasonable ones. The Democrats have been trying to convince Republicans that, hey, this is the right thing to fucking do. They've been trying to do that shit forever. They're just not fucking listening to it. So I don't think it's the onus is on the left, or I'm sorry, the Democrats to do this. But I don't know. It's just sad. It's really sad. Go ahead, continue. You can go.
Good to talk to you. Something as simple as that. Remember when he was at the NABJ, National Association for Black Journalists, over the summer? And Rachel Scott did a phenomenal job interviewing her. She asked the right questions. She asked the questions that people wanted to know. But what did Trump say? That's just a nasty, nasty question. You didn't even say hello. How are you?
You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you?
See what I'm saying? You don't even say, hello, how are you? It matters.
Wait, time out. If you play the rest of that fucking clip, Donald Trump was a complete asshat the entire fucking interview when he went to that summit. He was an asshole, Stephen A. I don't know if you actually watched the entire fucking interview or the entire fucking time. I'm just going to say it. People aren't going to hate, but Joe Biden would never say some stupid shit like that. He would probably try to answer the question. You're the president of the United States. A legitimate question was asked. You want the black vote. Please explain to us how you're going to do that with the rhetoric that you're actually saying. I don't care about how the question was asked. You're going to be the president of the United States. That's a question that your constituents, the people who might vote for you, need to understand and need to know the answer to. Fuck all the niceties. He gets his ass kissed and his balls fondled, balls scratched at every other interview, every other place he goes. Or if it's Joe Rogan, whether it's some random ass college, Hampton, whatever the fuck, not Hampton, but whatever. He gets his fucking, he's appeased, as Stephen A would say, everywhere else. But when people are actually sitting there asking you questions, it's nasty. You're disgusting. You're whatever. Come on, Stephen A. Come on, bro. Are you?
And that's not to say that there's a reason or justification for doing any of the things that he may have done or will continue to do. It's just knowing the hand that you're dealt and knowing who you're dealing with. And that's what you're going to have to learn about him, if you don't already know. If you want to do business with him, you're going to have to make sure that you're ready to engage in some level of capitulation, even if it's something as simple as being well-mannered. If you are an elected official...
Palatable. I can't even... If you're a good one, just make sure you're the nice one, right? If you're at this summit and you're black people, you're a black person, and you're gonna ask Donald Trump the right questions, just make sure that you're one of the good ones. You're one of the nice ones, right? Just be very, very nice about it, man. Fuck everything he's ever done. We don't give a fuck about anything that Donald Trump's done, any of the heinous bullshit that Donald Trump has ever done. Just make sure that you're nice. Just make sure that you treat him with the utmost respect, because he respects you as a human being, right? Okay, Stephen A. Smith, you're basically asking people to sell the fuck out. You're basically asking people to, to just bend the fucking knee for some reason. I don't understand it. Why you want people to just bend the knee to fucking Donald Trump? Like, I'm so confused on this take. What are you saying? What are you actually trying to get out of this?